Hey y'all, it's your girl Chi the Reality Queen, and I am back again with another episode of Robe Chronicles. Today we're going to be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, and child, we are coming to an end. This is the episode right before the season finale, and honestly, this season has been a mess. And I'm gonna talk about this episode, but I'm gonna talk about what's been going on social media too, because honestly, it's insane. So this episode starts off with Ashley, Giselle, and Robyn going to see Robyn try on some wedding dresses. And Ashley, I'm not even gonna call her Ashley anymore. I'm gonna call her Messy. Messy shows up for literally 5 minutes just to tell Giselle about how after they went out on the last night in Mexico, me and Wendy were admiring physiques. Now, when Ashley told the story as if Mia was admiring Wendy's physique. Physique also means, and she was admiring her physique, and Wendy was just kind of reciprocating. At least that's the way it came off. And Giselle's like, oh my God, I can't believe that. She's like, this is why I go to bed early. And it's like, Giselle, you go to bed early because you're old. You like to call Karen old, but you, baby, are old too. So I definitely see that. Also, we see Robyn trying on these dresses, and honestly, y'all, I don't know why she's playing with us. You guys, special guest again. He's right there in the back. I don't know why they playing with us with these dresses. First of all, if you're planning a very small wedding after your brother's wedding in Jamaica, why are you looking to buy this fancy dress? Who's gonna see it? You're not even gonna see it because there ain't no way, right? So I just didn't understand that. I was like, you're over here trying on all of these dresses, getting real fancy for what, right? Like, what is the purpose of you doing that if you don't even plan to have a big wedding? You could literally wear whatever Bermuda shorts you pack to the wedding, but that's whatever. So after Messy, also known as Ashley, decides to share her little tea about me and Wendy, she's like, all right, well, I gotta go. And, Giselle stays with Robyn. And then she asked Robyn, like, who don't you want at your bachelorette? And I was like, okay, Karen. I know she's gonna say Karen because they have beef, right? Or most recently had beef. But then she also said Wendy. I was like, why would you not want Wendy there? And then she's like, well, because you saw how she was laughing when Karen was talking about Juan. The same way you were laughing when Mia threw a drink on Wendy and then tried to hit her, assault her afterwards, that same way you were laughing. Like, Robyn and Giselle like moving the goalposts and how things can be done or what's offensive when it's on them versus when it's on other people. Like, they are so weird about that, and they are so unrealistic, and it's just tacky. But anyway, she says she don't want them there. So Giselle's like, okay, I'll plan it. Then we see Candace and Chris talking, and honestly, I really like watching Candace and Chris. Like, even when Candace used to piss me off, I always enjoyed watching Candace and Chris talk because that was a couple that you could tell was genuinely in love with each other and actually liked each other. Because, like, I think a lot of these couples love each other. I don't think a lot of these couples like each other, but I genuinely believed that Candace and Chris both loved and liked each other. And so I always like seeing them interact because it comes from a place of love, even how they look at each other, how they interact. But I also thought it was funny because Chris was like, they were talking. He goes, what did you guys do on this vacation that was fun? Or did you guys just talk about other people's husbands the whole time? And he's right. Like, I don't even know why they go on vacation anymore, because they went to go to the cenote. They didn't want to get in the water, and then they wanted to eat dinner and talk crap. And honestly, I'm not saying it's not fun, because I want to go on vacation, drink, and talk crap. But, it's not really that fun. It's more so about the drama rather than them enjoying a good time. Then we see, oh man, Wendy and Karen go to eat, and they're talking with each other, and then Messy calls them, and she's trying to be like, well, I noticed that there was a text sent out for the Bachelorette and neither one of you guys was on it. And it was like, you really just show up to be messy. Like, you have no purpose. You are whole divorcing Gollum, like Candace calls him, Michael Darby. You are whole divorcing Michael Darby, yet we're not talking about that. Like, we talked about it a little bit here and there, but that is not a focal point of the season for you, when really it should be. But somehow it keeps getting thrown by the wayside, and your only input into the season is being messy. But I also loved how Wendy brought up in that conversation that Karen has been alluding to Juan being a little bit of a mess when he's drunk for a while now. Like, stuff that I even forgot, but when they played the clip back, it's like, oh, Karen did say that. And so, you know, it's kind of like people were acting so shocked by Karen's comment, but in reality, it's kind of been coming. I mean, she has been making little side comments about Juan, and honestly, we should have expected this at some point. But I think we were all so focused at the time on Michael Darby being such a terrible human being that everybody else, it was okay that they just weren't as bad as Michael Darby, right? So I think that was just really a thing. Y'all hear my dog? He's just going crazy here. He always does. Then we see Giselle and Mia talking, Giselle and Mia. And it's funny because Mia then tried to tell the same story. And I mean, she was involved, so it's a little different. But she's telling the same story that Ashley told Giselle, except she's making it seem like the side of Wendy is doing more. Like, Wendy sat down and gave me a show, and I was just like, woo. And then I showed her mine, and then she tried to touch, and I was like, well, we don't have, you know, approval from G or Eddie, so let's not do anything. Like, I'm not saying that girlies don't get drunk and want to do something. I don't know. Maybe Wendy does, but I just think it's funny how Ashley told one story that kind of made it look like Mia was on the end of was not on the receiving end, but more so on the giving end. Whereas Mia told a story in which she was the person that was like trying to be standoffish, and, you know, Wendy was harassing her. And then I noticed that production questioned Mia about the situation right then and there. Like, you know how when they talk about the situation, they usually question both people. But it was very convenient that production never questioned Wendy about it. Like, they show production questioning Mia, but then they don't show them questioning Wendy. I thought that was a little sus, almost like to leave us believing Mia's side without getting Wendy's side about the same situation. And I didn't really like that. Then they show us Wendy working. And again, even when I didn't like Wendy, I like her now this season. She on my good side, but I like seeing her work. Like, I think it's nice to see a little bit of reality, their real lives. Like, Wendy is a political consultant or a speaker for MSNBC and other channels. And she was there talking about women's rights and Roe v. Wade and how it affects her and her sons and everybody around her. And I'm like, she's not going to the Bachelorette, but she's doing something much better. Like, not saying that she probably didn't want to be at the Bachelorette. Maybe she did. She wanted to celebrate Robyn. She thought they were good. But at the same time, like, we see her in her element, and she is really doing the damn thing, you know? And I love that for her. Same with Wendy. I mean, not Wendy, Karen. When she wasn't at the Bachelorette, I don't know, obviously they try to show it to make it seem like it's the same time, but she was over there, you know, getting her business together, getting her limited edition candles. And Karen, I love you, but you need to change the spelling on your website, because limited edition is different than limited edition. Just a little note, girl. You know, you got to keep your website right and tight. But I definitely love to see them doing their own personal thing. And it's not just mess, gossip. They actually have stuff going on in their personal lives. And then we get to see the Bachelorette. They have like a party bus that's taking them to a strip club that serves steak and lobster, which is where, what's her name? Mia says she used to work. But unfortunately, I didn't see the ball gowns that she was referring to. Yeah, But anyways, it was a strip club that served steak and lobster. And you know what? The food looked disgusting, but they were there praising it. But on the party bus, it looked like they were having a good time. I think they told everybody to wear some form of purple because somehow Ashley and Mia came in the same outfit. And I mean, I think they both look cute in it. It's always just awkward when you see two people wearing the same outfit and then they're not really the same size, so they look actually very different in one outfit. Yeah. But when Charisse showed up, Charisse was like, I don't know why Mia would throw this party when I'm Robyn's good friend. And honestly, these are the parts of Charisse that's like, that's why you shouldn't be here, because you're annoying. Like, girl, she's like, I'm not going to make a big deal. You shouldn't have said anything at all. You should have just been happy to have been invited and shut your mouth. That's it. But I guess maybe they wanted a comment from her or whatever. I don't really care. Then when they got to the Bachelorette, I guess they asked Ashley about everything that's going on with her divorce. And honestly, we should have been hearing much more of this. But she was just like, oh, I was dating, but Michael said he wasn't dating, so I stopped dating because I felt guilty. Baby girl, he couldn't stop dating when y'all were married. What would make you think that now that he's single, he's not dating anymore? And Candace was like, thank God Candace told her, like, he came to view or whatever Chris works with the whole date. Like, what are you talking about? And Ashley just sat there feeling stupid. And it's like, girl, of course you feel stupid because you spend your life worried about other people instead of being worried about yourself. You could be out there having fun. You're only 34 or 35 years old. You're nice, young, you're pretty, people like you. But instead you worried about this old man. And we know why she worried about this old man, because her pappy left her and she had to replace him, unfortunately. It's a sad turn of events that she probably should seek therapy for, but things like this happen in life and she needs to let that man go. He is old. He's not a good person. He doesn't treat her well. Like, maybe he was nice to her, but overall, if you're constantly trying to embarrass me and having outside relationships after I've told you I don't want us to have those type of relationships anymore, then you don't respect her and she could do better. But yeah, so I was glad Candace told her so she can go back and be in these streets again. Then Charisse, they all start getting drunk, and Charisse decides in that moment that she's gonna tell everybody that Karen Huger got drunk the last time they was in the club and was sleeping with, I say sleeping with because I don't want to say effing the word, one of the workers in the bathroom. And I feel like I have watched this show for 7 seasons and nothing about Karen Huger screams, I sleep with random men in a restroom. I'm not saying she don't sleep with random men. I'm not saying she don't do that. She might. I don't know. But not in nobody's restroom. No. I think she's above that. I would love to believe that she's above that. And I do not believe Charisse. And it's crazy because she told that story and the look on Giselle's face, and again, production has editing issues, so you don't know, but the look on Giselle's face was like, okay, Charisse, you might have taken this a little too far with your lies. But she can't say that. She has to support her because that's her girl and she wants her back. And then in the confessional, she's like, yeah, everybody knew that. If everybody knew that, how come Mia was surprised? Candace was surprised. Ashley was surprised. Everybody was surprised to hear that. No one believed it. Like, literally no one believed it. And she was like, oh yeah, this isn't new. This is what everybody knows. But anyways, they enjoyed their little stripper fest. I love strip clubs. I think they're great. I think everybody should go. I mean, I don't go often, but I think like it should be a fun experience for a bachelorette. So I think I'm glad they had fun. I'm glad Robyn had fun, but it's like you're having for a bachelor for a non-existent wedding, girl. Like, just get it together, please. But what I really wanted to discuss is because, that episode ended and we, us viewers, we went back to our lives. And then we wake up a few days later to Robyn Dixon admitting that she actually knew about Juan cheating on her or meeting with this girl or whatever she calls it. I'm disgusted by Robyn, honestly. Honestly, I've been talking a lot about her this season because she's been pissing me off. But I've always liked Robyn. I always thought her, liked her character. But now I'm starting to think that she's just low down, dirty, underhanded. It's really, really bad because, girl, you're on reality TV, and I am actually not opposed to people keeping certain things close to their chest despite being on reality TV. But making it seem like Karen Huger was completely out of pocket, calling your husband to make a scene, doing all this while knowing that this rumor was true is excessive. It is excessive. And not just that, but then not you, because you didn't do it specifically, but Giselle and Ashley went and made up stories about other people's husbands to kind of deflect away from the fact that it's your husband who was cheating. Juan Dixon is not a good person. That's just the long and short of it. I mean, he might be a good person outside of his relationship, but he's not a good person to be in a relationship with. Okay, I think that's the better way to put it. Or maybe not, because he has that case where he didn't listen to his employee or his team member or whatever. We'll see how that plays out. But it's like, you really went out of your way to make Karen look like a liar, and she wasn't a liar. Our girl Karen was vindicated. She was telling the truth. I know a lot of y'all like to call Karen a liar and say all these things about her, but you know what? She was telling the truth this time. Robyn Dixon was getting cheated on by Juan, by a lady who he was putting up in a hotel during the pandemic. And she tried to tell this lame story that the girl lost her wallet and she called Juan to pay for it. I don't want to believe that Robyn is that dumb. And I also don't want to believe that she thinks that we as viewers are that dumb. But one of those things is happening. And I'm hoping it's neither. But it's just, it's crazy. Like, what do you mean that they never dated, they never did that, but he went and paid for her hotel because she lost her wallet? If a stranger DM'd me and told me that they lost their wallet, and that's the only way I've communicated with them, I don't know them at all, and then they say, oh, I lost my wallet, can you come pay for my hotel? I would tell them no. Unless I was having other communication with them and I was sleeping with them, then yes, I would go pay for their hotel, because then that's the difference, I don't know. It's a mess. The fact that Robyn waited till after the reunion was finished airing and after everything was done, and then she tried to charge people to hear this story on Patreon or Patreon. I don't even know what it is, because I was never going to pay, right? Thank God to the people who did pay and posted it. But it was really crazy, and I'm just disappointed in her. And I'm disappointed in Giselle for going along with it. I'm disappointed with Ashley. I'm disappointed with everybody who heard that, saw that, and didn't say, girl, you're out of your mind, don't do that. It's just all bad. But you know what? I'm excited to see how the finale goes, the reunion. I'm actually excited because I want to see if maybe any of this ties in, especially because she did so much stuff after. She waited till almost everything was done to get married, tell this tea, all that stuff. So I'm actually even interested to see if they bring her back for another season. And if they do, I need them to tear her apart limb from limb. She needs to get dragged through the mud like anybody else who would have done the exact same thing that she did. And we've seen it in other characters on other Housewives franchises. So she needs to feel it. She needs to be Booba the Fool that she is, and she needs to feel like Booba the Fool. She needs to feel the egg on her face. I need all of it, right? And that's if she even comes back. But if she is back, I need it all. I need all the energy coming for her from those women. And if Giselle wants to stay there to defend her because that's her girl, I hope that she does. But yeah, I will see you guys next time. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.